Hey guys, this is Denny.
And this is James from TDB, bringing you episode number 137. We are once again back here in Seattle. It's a new week. Denny has changed his shirt, so you know that it's serious business.
So you know that we have time traveled.
Exactly, yeah. This is like some Back to the Future crossed with Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, the Back to the Future Day was a big thing on the internet. The internet liked Back to the Future Day.
They did, yeah. And also, it's almost Christmas, I think. It's like the 22nd or something like that, if we're doing our math right. So, Merry fucking Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas. I'm gonna not use profanities because I'm an adult. That's not why. What do we got going on here, James?
So we have
Essence of Tea.
Yeah, another Essence of Tea offering, the Green Peacock. So if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago we brought on the green stamp. It was actually a few months ago that we filmed it, so the tea is not too fresh in the memory.
Mm-hmm.
But this is another Malaysian stored Pu'erh from Essence of Tea. So we are going to get going. I have enjoyed this tea in the couple sessions that I've had with it, but I've heard a couple different opinions, so I'm curious to hear what Denny says about it.
Cool. Fantastic. I noticed there's a lot of tea dust in there.
Yeah, so we're unfortunately at the end of the sample bag, so take it for what it's worth.
Sure.
It might be, who knows? You never know when it comes to that. But we'd expect it to brew out a little bit quicker because of that.
Exactly. So I just wanted to let folks in the viewing audience, when you're out there drinking your tea along with us, for new folks who haven't seen a lot of episodes of TDB or might be just into getting into Pu'erh or tea that could be at the end of the bag, maybe they're just finishing their first bag of tea. When you do have tea dust at the end there, usually it's a good call to just rinse a little bit more and to steep for a little bit less time.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's pretty good advice in general. And you might just end up with a beat up sample and it's more or less the same scenario. So, we'll give this one rinse and just get going here.
Cool. And why are you using clay now versus just a normal gaiwan?
Part of it is sort of the heat retention, just having a nice, a tea like this, you could see that the gaiwan, when we were using it last episode, the pour is very fast.
Right.
The water comes out very quickly, or you have more control over it. For these older teas, they're a little bit more forgiving in the sense that you could go for a bit longer without having terrible consequences as far as getting super bitter or astringent or something like that. Yeah, so.
Good smell. It smells great.
Yeah, so it's kind of got that dark, spicy smell to
it. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's got a tart as opposed to the almost salty flavor of last episode. It has kind of a tart.
I like that, yeah.
Little bit acidic taste to it for sure. Let's cool down a little bit.
And I think with this tea, this first infusion and maybe this next one too, we're going to get a little bit of storage taste. I did only give it one rinse, so if we really wanted to avoid that, probably could have given it a second one.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, it's not fishy. It's not coming off like it's been, like it's bad.
Yeah, it's not like a super dirty, dankness to the tea. It's got a really nice form to it. There's a good body. I can feel it sort of extend, similar to the last tea, towards the back of the throat, the back of the mouth, rather. Overall, pretty good thickness. I'd say it's a bit heavier as far as teas go than the tea that we just drank in the last episode, the Sanglio.
Yeah.
It's obviously also much more, well, not much more, but a bit more matured, I would say.
I think I totally agree. It's a little bit more viscous. I'm really I'm waiting in anticipation for those spicy flavors that you talked about. I think the smell was right on there in terms of the aroma. Yeah. Getting kind of cinnamony, maybe a little bit like nutmeggy, those kind of baking spices, but a little bit more picante.
Wow, we're getting into some Christmas feel here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would not complain if Santa put this tea in my stocking.
Some fanboy out there, or girl,
Yeah.
or grandma, needs to edit that and just have that be like some sort of like terrible TDB meme GIF thing
Yeah.
of some sort.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you specify that you want Green Peacock tea, not something else. Cause
And Photoshop Santa Claus on his head when he says
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, where are our
Santa
Santa
Claus.
hats? I guess we forgot those this year and every other year.
All right. Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
This tea is very sweet to me just immediately. It's got zero in terms of the bitterness. I think it's really like comfortable to drink. It's very viscous. There's no lightness to it in a good way.
It's very smooth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Right now, in this infusion, I think it thickened up. I think it got a lot better than the initial infusion. I think getting more sort of like those interesting Asian fruits that you tend to get in the more mature pu'erh, like maybe like longan or lychee.
Yeah, we do the lychee for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting comparison versus the previous tea that we had in the sense that they're both, I would say they're fairly different. The last tea was more like upfront sweet to it, and this has a deeper sort of earthiness to it.
This has a very herb or medicinal smell to it, and I'm getting a little bit of that in terms of the flavors. But I'm also getting a little bit of that sweet fruit, and yeah. I'm sure you guys can relate to this. You drink a tea, you hit it off with the tea immediately for some reason. You don't really know why. It's kind of like meeting a friend who you end up being good friends with forever or whatever.
Until you realize they're shit. No, I'm kidding. Continue. Let's not get too far
The
into
last
my own
episode of TDB. No.
Where's my Pu'erh pick?
Yeah. That'd be that's like the April Fool's special or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, let's hope it's the
Anyway,
April Fool's.
so yeah, I don't plan on getting tea picked to death anytime on the show.
Yeah. Follow us on Periscope, guys.
Anyway, this is a very comfortable tea for me to drink. James was wondering about my impression of it. This fits me quite well. I'm curious as to why people didn't necessarily like it. Was it just that it wasn't striking to them, or the flavors themselves were a little bit off-putting? Because I find these to be very agreeable, if not accessible.
Yeah, and very clean too for a tea of this sort of like age and profile.
Right.
I don't totally know. I guess people seem to prefer the green stamp, which had like a different sort of character in the mouth, mm-hmm. I guess. I don't know. I've always been pleased with this tea, so I would say that I mainly agree with what you've said about it.
I would recommend this tea, frankly, just upon first drinking. It's definitely got it's an old pu'erh that has the comfort and accessibility of some of these like very green, young, sweet raws.
So you think this would actually be a good pu'erh to introduce people to pu'erh with? Yeah, actually. And to like kind of showcase the more aged taste.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a friendly version of that. There hasn't been any abrasive character of this tea yet, and it's getting, I'm getting a little bit more of the mouthfeel, a little bit more of the intensity now.
Yeah, and I think each infusion has been better than the last, I would say.
I agree. So James, if folks wanted to learn more about this tea and Essence of Tea and others,
you should go check out essenceoftea.com. They are a formerly UK-based vendor that's now based in Malaysia. Mm-hmm. So they have a lot of, well, not a lot, but they definitely have a few sort of like Malaysia-stored teas, such as this one, which I think also definitely gets my recommendation as well. Where can someone find out more about tea in general?
Well, check us out on tdb.org. Subscribe to our YouTube channel below for weekly videos of tastings and plenty more. Also follow us on Twitter. We have a Facebook page. We are doing Periscope videos occasionally.
Yeah, hopefully not violent ones.
Yeah, and until next time, guys.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.